The S&P 500 keeps you poor. A lot of people like to invest in the S&P 500 because it's been on an uptrend for the past 4 decades since the 80s, and it's been outperforming inflation. If we suppose that inflation is 7%, the S&P 500 is performing like 12 to 15% approximately. And if you look at the charts, USD priced in S&P 500, you'll see that the USD, as in the dollars, is indeed collapsing against the S&P 500. And you think that you are actually making gains and you are storing the value of your money, and you are actually storing the value of your money, but you are not really storing it that well. You are still leaking a lot of economic energy, and you are still leaving a lot of money on the table. And so I decided to show you guys how the S&P 500 is robbing you of a lot of economic value that you are leaving on the table. So if we look at the charts here, we have the USD dollar, as in the US dollar, priced in the S&P 500. And as you can see, it's collapsing against the S&P 500. That's why it's going up. You need more dollars to buy the same units of the S&P 500. But if we take the S&P 500 and price it in gold, we would see that it had a huge uptrend from the 80s, let's say from 1980 all the way up to 2000, and then it had a huge crash. It's been crashing since the 2000 all the way down to 2011, and then it's bounced back, and it's been fluctuating up and down from 2011 up to now, but it never reached the height that it reached back in 2000. So you are not really, the S&P 500 is not really the best hedge against inflation. Gold is still the best hedge against inflation. So you're not really making that much gains. You are still leaving a lot of money on the table, so to speak. Now, let's look at the apex predator asset, that is Bitcoin, which is the hardest money the world has ever seen. Now, if we price the S&P 500 in Bitcoin, we would see that it's a complete downtrend, and it's trending down against Bitcoin. So it's all in front of you right here. The S&P 500, you need more S&P 500 units to get 1 Bitcoin. And in here, you need more S&P 500 units to get the same amount of gold. And in here, you need more dollars to get the same amount of the S&P 500. So if you invest in the S&P 500, it's fine, but it's going to keep you poor. And if you invest in gold, it's also fine, but you are still not reaching your maximum potential or your maximum gains. If you invest in Bitcoin, of course, you are outperforming gold, you are outperforming the S&P 500, you are outperforming pretty much everything, except maybe strategy. Last year, it's outperformed everything, including Bitcoin. But that's an entirely different subject. So the point of this video, I'm gonna keep it sweet and short and concise, is that you don't really need to invest in the S&P 500. All you need to do is buy Bitcoin. Everything trends down against Bitcoin. I've already made a video where I explain to you why everything trends down against Bitcoin, whether it's stocks, whether it's gold or real estate or any of these things, or crypto, whatever they mean when they say crypto. It's just a big casino. I've also made a video where I say that crypto boys are completely wrong and you will never get rich on crypto because it's a casino, and even if you get rich, you're going to lose your money the same way that gamblers lose all the money they make gambling. And so the best course of action is to simply buy Bitcoin and hold it or hodl it as long as you can. You're going to outperform everybody. You're going to outperform pretty much everyone without doing anything. You're just going to buy Bitcoin and that's it. And Bitcoin is running out of reach. There is less Bitcoin by the day. Institutional adoption is gobbling up as much Bitcoin as they can. Everybody's trying to get as much Bitcoin as they can. The more you postpone buying Bitcoin, the more money you're going to pay for your Bitcoin. So buy as much as you can today. Bitcoin is going to reign supreme. And that's all I have to say in this video. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel, send this video to your friend who still invests in the S&P 500 or still buys gold thinking that gold is still the ultimate hedge against inflation. Of course it's not. It's Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will reign supreme. So that's about it. See you in the next one. Take care.